This is part 3 of Roman Empire. If you haven't watched the first 2 parts, go check them out. While you're at it, subscribe. Caligula was born August 31st, 12 CE, was a Roman emperor from 37 to 41 CE, in succession after Tiberius. Caligula effected the transfer of the last legion that had been under a senatorial proconsul in Africa to an imperial legate, thus completing the emperor's monopoly of army command. Caligula's reign by ancient historians are so biased against him that the truth is almost impossible to disentangle. Born Gaius Caesar, he became known as Caligula, Little Boot, a childhood nickname bestowed on him by the soldiers of his father, Germanicus Caesar, nephew and adoptive son of Tiberius. The deaths of his father in 19 CE, of his mother, Vipsania Agrippina, in 33, and of his 2 elder brothers, Julius Caesar Nero, in 31, and Drusus Caesar in 23, were popularly ascribed to the machinations of Tiberius. Gaius and his 3 sisters survived. Adopting his father's distinguished name, he became Gaius Caesar Germanicus. He was severely ill 7 months after his accession. After this, he restored treason trials, showed great cruelty, and engaged in wild despotic caprice. In 38, he executed Naevius Sutorius Macro, prefect of the Praetorian Guard, to whose support he owed his accession, and Tiberius Gemellus, grandson of Tiberius, whom he had supplanted in the succession. He made pretensions to divinity and showed extravagant affection for his sisters, especially for Drusilla, who on her death, in 38, was consecrated Diva Drusilla, the first woman in Rome to be so honored. Some scholars believe that he intended to establish a Hellenistic-type monarchy after the brother-sister marriages of the Ptolemies of Egypt. Others thought that, after his illness, he was mad. Early in 40, Caligula marched with an army into Gaul, whose inhabitants he plundered thoroughly. He marched his troops to the northern shoreline of Gaul as a prelude to the invasion of Britain, but then ordered them to collect seashells there, which he called the spoils of the conquered ocean. The Roman populace had by now grown weary of this mad and unpredictable tyrant, and several conspiracies were formed against him. In January 44, 4 months after his return to Rome from Gaul, Caligula was murdered at the Palatine Games by Cassius Chaerea, tribune of the Praetorian Guard, Cornelius Sabinus, and others. Caligula's wife Caesonia and his daughter were also put to death. He was succeeded as emperor by his uncle Claudius, Julio-Claudian dynasty, AD 14 to 68. The 4 successors of Augustus, the first Roman emperor, Tiberius, reigned 14 to 37, Caligula, 37 to 41, Claudius Photius, 41 to 54, and Nero, 54 to 68. It was not a direct bloodline. Augustus had been the great-nephew and adopted son of Julius Caesar, of the Julia gens, whereas Tiberius, the adopted son of Augustus, came from the aristocratic Claudia gens. Caligula was a great-grandson of Augustus. Claudius was a nephew of Tiberius, and Nero was the great-nephew and adopted son of Claudius.